Alright, all throughout history, we will come across characters, defining characters, right? Figures, people, where we pedestalize them as who they are and for what they've done or for what they've given to mankind, right? But real historians and people that are interested in these things usually know something like this happens with someone like Shakespeare or someone like Socrates, right? You cannot actually pinpoint if it is one person who's written these things, right? If it's one person who's came up with this idea and it's been passed on, right? Because there wasn't technology back in the days. It was written and it was copied and it was passed along, right? Just like that, right? So throughout history, we get these figures. One of the ones that annoy me a little bit is Marcus Aurelius, right? Because I like Stoicism and like I'm a casual fan, so to speak, right? I'm not somebody that's too entrenched in the ideology or the history of it, right? But we get these characters where we pedestalize them for what they've said or what they've quote unquote done. But in reality, a lot of the time, it's other people through history who have used the name of this famous person to get out their ideas and their ideologies under the guise of it being said directly by this person, right? We see it with Socrates and we see it with Shakespeare. And I personally believe Marcus Aurelius is one of those kinds of figures, right? Because I prefer Epictetus, right? I prefer it, that's my preference. But at the same time, I can look and say, isn't it interesting that all of these Stoics that existed, or we think existed at this time, all contributed these different things, but the world has taken to Marcus Aurelius so much so that they believe like he is the quintessential Stoic philosopher king, right? And realistically, all of his ideas, all of his teachings come from all of these different people. So there's a saying that goes something like this, yeah? If it's popular, it's probably not true, right? And if it's true, it's probably not popular. So understand when we get these historical figures, and in the future when we're all dead and gone, there will be those figures again, right? They will take somebody's ID or their Twitter or whatever, and there'll be writers and philosophers and mathematicians and scientists that will attach their ideas, their theories, their essays to this name, right? Like when you're writing a column in a magazine or something, you do it under a pseudonym or whatever it's called. You do it under a pen name, right? These historical figures are mostly just pen names, right? Especially in the times where they couldn't be documented, let's say, accurately, right? So just understand that. A lot of our historical figures that we pedestalize, their ideas and the things they supposedly did and the things they supposedly said, even in mythology, are usually the mixtures of stories and ideas of other people, right? Another example I will give, in mythology and in religion, you would get somebody like Thoth, right? The Egyptian god Thoth. But then that person is also Hermes, you know what I mean? So think, just try not to be too caught up in the idolization of figures, yeah, and understand more what the methodology is, what they're giving you, right? Where that actually comes from and what precedes that. The background data, the background people around that time and that idea, right? Because it's not ever usually one person. Like I've said before, life is a relay race, right? We're just all adding a brick onto the wall. So know that when you see these historical figures, try not to idolize them, pedestalize them too much. Understand what they're saying, they may not even have said, right? They were just famous enough that their name would live on to us, right?